what do we learn? What do we know about what happened in the basement of 345 Park yesterday, Ian?
Well, a couple things. I know from Tom Brady's side, especially when he learned about the sort of 4-hour guidelines to present his case, they wanted it over yesterday. They wanted to drag out more than that. So they gave him sort of a guideline of 4 hours. And I know there was some nerves like, am I really going to get to state my case? Am I really going to get all the time that I believe is necessary? So the thing lasted 10 hours, 11 hours total with a lunch break. So it's pretty clear that at the very least, Roger Goodell heard everything that Tom Brady had to say, from, a science expert challenging the science, to his character from Robert Kraft, to whatever new information or new perspective he brought to the table. So at least Roger Goodell sat and listened. And, it has been my understanding all along that Goodell was, and I know people sort of will poo-poo this, he is more than open-minded about reducing the penalty if he has a reason to. And Brady came in preparing to be forthright and honest. I'll be curious to see, obviously, like everyone, where we go from here, because the door seems to be open for some sort of reduction.
For what? But how would it be reduced? Under what concept do you think, based on what we may have heard about, Brady being his own best witness, et cetera, et cetera? Where does the reduction come from?
Well, I have no doubt that Tom Brady sounded good. And that's sort of one of the things with him. Like, he always, I know you sat down and interviewed him, like, he always sounds good. He sounds good just like he plays good. And pretty much everything in the life of Tom Brady, except for this right here, pretty much everything is good. That's sort of the way. So I'm not surprised that he maybe impressed some people in the room. What is important is, what did he bring to the table? And there's a confidentiality order, and we may not know specifics, but at least may not know it just yet. But he knew he had to go in there and change some minds. So, if he cooperated, and I know he was being advised by the NFLPA to cooperate more than he did from the beginning of this. So if he cooperated, I would imagine there'd be some sort of reduction just in the fact that he finally sort of worked with the NFL on this. And if he is able to somehow show that he didn't do it, or if he did do it to express contrition, like Ben Roethlisberger did several years ago, maybe a game, maybe 2 games.
Well, but what about the idea that Brady doesn't want to accept any games whatsoever for this, Ian? What's the end game there? If where the NFL might say, okay, we'll just cut this in half because the Wells report, you have refuted it. You did give us more information, but there's still things that are left unexplained, and boom, now we'll just cut it in half. But that means Brady still has something that he sits out.
Yeah, there Tom Brady has a problem. He has a timing issue more than anything, because I know the NFLPA would probably welcome a court appearance to sort of use it to challenge Goodell's role as the appeals officer and all that. But what if it goes to November? So and Brady loses. He could go to federal court and lose. So then is he serving a suspension in December? All this sounds, and it's really like in any negotiation. You go in with the strongest position. But if the option is really like you may have to miss a December game, a playoff game, what if he has to miss a playoff game? At that point, wouldn't he say, all right, look, I'm against this. I still didn't do it, but I'm going to take 2 games in September.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.